Lovely to be here. Good morning, everyone. As you can see, my background is where I wish I am, but I am still happy to be here with you today. So the agenda for today is really introductions about FactSet. I'll be, giving a high-level presentation of what FactSet is as a company and what types of services we help our clients globally and in the region with. And then Mark will dive deeper into one very trendy topic in the region globally, and specifically for FactSet, where we saw quite an immense growth of this business unit. And it's really about the data feed world and the API world. First of all, thank you for the FinTech Hive. This is, I believe, is a great initiative that you guys are running. It's amazing. We've had numerous sessions in previous years, and we've had very successful new partnerships with the FinTech Hive participants. So hopefully this year we'll see that as well, and in years to come. I'm going to share my screen quite quickly. Mark, can you see my screen?
Yes, all good.
Amazing. There we go. Right, so maybe a step back. So FactSet is a multinational company. We're listed on the NYSE exchange. We're about 10,000 employees worldwide across 63 offices in 63 countries. The office in Dubai covers the Middle East and Africa region. We do have an office in Johannesburg that reports into the office of Dubai. The team in Middle East and Africa is about 25 to 30 employees. Myself, Tariq Touma, I'm the AVP and Senior Institutional Sales, looking after FactSet's portfolio of products and services in the region. My colleague Mark on the line is our specialist when it comes to the data feed and API business unit, covering the region as well. So FactSet, right? The way FactSet works is very much focused around our clients. What do our clients need? And we often do a lot of interviews, a lot of questions with our client to understand really what they're looking at. And this is not rocket science, but obviously this is what we see really the challenges of our clients today. It's mainly four big challenges. Obviously, cost pressure. Everyone has cost pressure, and this is where FactSet tries to run its commercial model to help that. The need for innovation and technology innovation, and this is what the FinTech Hive is all about. Everyone is looking at how to innovate. We can't do the work in the same way we've done the work for the past 20 years. We need to change, we need to adapt. There's new technologies out there. How can FactSet partner with our clients to do that? Then obviously the amount of data, right? There's no lack of data. Everyone has access to data. It's how to structure this data, how to make this data work for you, for your business, for your needs. This is the challenge, and this is what FactSet takes away this obstacle from its clients and let them focus on their core business, their core needs. And obviously all the regulatory challenges in the world and to maneuver if you work in different countries, geos, etc., and how to maneuver that per se. So what's FactSet mission, right? And we quite love this a lot. I'll tell you why. I'll read it. Solve our clients' greatest challenges with the power of collaboration. This might mean nothing, but so let me explain what we mean by this. We'll actually sit down with our clients. Guys, what do you need? If it's not out there, let's make it happen. Let's develop it. Let's work with it. And this is how FactSet became what FactSet is today. Many of our solutions were actually developed and created based on the needs of our clients, not something off the shelf. It is now, but it started as a discussion. Mr. Client, what is it that you need? And let us help you achieve that. So what's our advantage? And when we say advantage, it's really, our business units. Where do we really operate per se? So obviously, first and foremost, financial data. Now, it's all about data, right? Now, when it comes to financial data, FactSet is known as an aggregator in the market. So we have virtually implemented and aggregated data from any third-party vendor in the world. So that's number one. Number two, we have our own data sets, obviously, which are now considered benchmark data sets worldwide, out of which two I'd like to name, FactSet Fundamentals. And this is a data set where we consolidate fundamentals for all publicly listed companies in a specific format so that our clients can compare apples to apples. As simple as that. FactSet Estimates, which I'm sure many of you have seen on broker reports. It's now the broker consensus, and that is the benchmark being used in the world, right? It's forward-looking data. So with that said, you can read a bit on the slide. We have 3 million client portfolios, 850 independent data providers that have implemented their data onto FactSet. Now, what is FactSet known as at its core? It's really its analytics engine, right? Now, FactSet is very well known on the buy side of the market, I would say, where our clients actually upload their portfolios onto a FactSet portfolio management system and run their analytics on it. Understanding how that portfolio is managed, the contribution, the exposure, understanding the risk, the liquidity side, in order to make better decisions. And this is something that, all sovereign wealth funds globally or in the region, the biggest asset managers, wealth managers, private bankers, family offices use to be able to run their portfolio. Now, the technology side of FactSet, it's really about delivering that data, right? So, we have the data, we have the systems, how to deliver it. There are several ways, right? Obviously, we have the off-the-shelf, we have the front-end solutions, but also equally important, if not even more important, what we see in the past 2 years is really this flexibility of providing the raw data. And we're seeing a lot of demand on, companies such as yourselves within the FinTech Hive and around the region saying, okay, look, we want the raw data and we want to work with it. We want to be able to consume it, run it in any system we like, right? Perfect. Yeah, fine. That's how FactSet operates. We're an open and flexible technology. We're an open network. We can provide you this data through data feeds, through APIs, or even create digital portals for our clients, right? So we help develop, portals for you, with you, alongside you. And obviously, this is a perfect segue into the last, advantage we'd like to talk about is really the services, right? So we're not the type of company that comes in and you sign the deal or whatever it is, and we give you the system and leave. Not at all. This takes me back to our mission. We collaborate with our clients. So we completely implement with you. We sit with you. We understand where the process lacks, where the operation side might need a bit of enhancement, and we help you through that entire process. Some awards, I'm not going to go through all of that, but FactSet is renowned worldwide as one of the best data analytics provider, technology provider. This is extremely important for us. We maybe half of our R&D goes into technology and how to keep ahead of the market as such. Best client services solutions. We have a lot of research, market data, analytics tools. So all of that really embodies what FactSet is. Now, some numbers we're very proud of, and one specific that I'd like to highlight is the 95% client retention. This has been a constant along the 40 plus years of FactSet. Once clients start using FactSet, and it's not the system per se, once they are into the network of FactSet, as such, the support model, as such, the implementation, this is what is extremely the unique added value of FactSet. It's not the system per se, and this is why they continue to use FactSet year on year on. Okay, I'm not going to go through this. So this is what I was talking about. we're very proud in calling ourselves, a reliable partner for our clients, per se, right? Our client service model is second to none. It's an award-winning model, 24/7. We sit with our clients, we understand their need, their workflows, and we implement based on that specifically. This is a slide I like to take a few minutes on. This really tells you the history of how FactSet became FactSet today. So we started in 1978 by two ex-Wall Streeters and ex-quant engineers specifically. And the reason they started FactSet is because they were fed up from getting, information from 3, 4, 5 different providers, and they wanted everything into a single system for them to be able to compute the data and work with the data. A small comment that I forgot to state at the start: if anyone has a question, please feel free to interrupt me. I'm more than happy, Mark, also to take questions on the go. And maybe, Mark, if you can keep an eye on the chat, if someone has written a question, we're more than happy to tackle it on the go. Right, so 1978, data aggregator. This is what FactSet is known for. We consolidate data, we aggregate data, even prop data as such, right? Now, as things evolved, we started having our own data sets, which I talked about, FactSet fundamentals, FactSet estimates. And then again, the core of the business of FactSet is the portfolio management systems that are developed in-house and that are being used worldwide. Now, I would say the major shift that FactSet did was maybe 7 to 8 years ago, where we moved from simply a data provider into a financial technology and solutions and systems provider. Why do I say that? Because today we've acquired so many companies throughout the years that we can confidently say we covered the entire portfolio lifecycle. So going from a pre-construction phase, the research, quant analysis, back testing, up to the actual construction of a portfolio. We acquired an execution management system called Portware. We acquired an order management solution called Simba. Moving into the actual management of a portfolio with our in-house developed portfolio management systems. Moving into a middle office workflow where we have acquired companies for official performance reporting solutions such as BISAM. B1 is the product itself. Moving into a marketing workflow and client reporting solution called Vermilion. Again, all of this is fully automated from A to Z. And maybe the latest acquisition that FactSet did was a digital company called IDMS that is rebranded as FactSet Digital. And now we create platforms and portals for our clients. Few examples, a client or an asset manager, for instance, comes to us and says, I want to give my clients access to their portfolios. So they can chart their performance, they can read some news or extract and consume some data. We create this portal for our client completely white labeled. Maybe the private banking department in a bank comes to us and says, I want to give my relationship managers or my private bankers access to financials of all publicly listed companies. Great. We incorporate this data in their core banking system so that their employees have access to this data. Or maybe a government entity comes to us and says, okay, guys, look, I have this set of data, I have a different set of data, I want to combine both, I want to run AI behind it and generate some sort of signals, right? Even if the data is not ours, we're more than happy to work with you and create this unique portal only for you to consume it. At the heart of everything, obviously, is data, right? So nothing of what I said can be done without proper data. So obviously we have our own prop data, we have third-party data providers, and over 4 million client portfolios that are uploaded onto FactSet. How we integrate all this data is really the secret sauce behind what FactSet is. And this again is a segue into what Mark will talk about today. about a managed database, whether it's on the cloud, where maybe it's on your local servers, and how we provide this data, and all the flexible delivery platforms that we give you access to, whether it's a front end by a workstation, whether it's a data feed API, or simply a digital portal that we create for our clients. I talked about this briefly. So we are both on the front office side and the middle office side. At any point, if a topic is of interest, we're more than happy to spend more time on it, whether it's on a one-to-one session or else. But again, FactSet covers the entire portfolio lifecycle. We have services that plug in, whether it's in the front office or the middle office, or even the marketing and the digital side of your workflow. So I tapped into this, flexible technology. This is what we're talking about. Whether it's a workstation, whether it's a website to have access to this system, digital solutions, mobile, obviously, but also even equally important, enterprise hosting, the data feeds and the APIs of raw data for you to be able to consume it in your own, systems, whether in-house built or third-party systems. And most recently, maybe 2-3 years ago, FactSet started what we call the FactSet Marketplace, where third-party vendors, come in and place their own data sets on to FactSet, where we consolidate the data, we do the data aggregation for you to be able to consume it, directly into a data feed, rather than going to 10 different providers to get 10 different data sets for you to consume. You only come to one that has done the work for you. You only need to consume and start developing as you require. From my end, that's it. I'm the least important person in the room, so maybe if anyone has a question, I'm more than happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll move it to the interesting part, and Mark can handle. Any questions? Okay, I guess Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Tarek. And give me a second, and I'll share my screen. Just let me know when you can see it. Yep.
I can see it, yes.
Perfect. Yeah, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Tarek, for handing it over to me. As Tarek mentioned, my name is Mark, and I work in the FactSet Content and Technology Solutions team. And what that means is anything, all the solutions basically that are off platform for FactSet. So FactSet, as some of you might know, has the workstation, which integrates all our content. I look after anything that is off platform, data feeds, API solutions, etc. And today I want to cover, the technology side of things. So why technology is at the heart of FactSet and what we do. And secondly, I want to dive into APIs a bit more and show you sort of the API program of FactSet. Which is essentially the agenda I just mentioned, right? Covering the technology bit, the build versus buy spectrum, data delivery, and then secondly, diving into APIs in more detail. As Tarek mentioned in the other in his presentation just now, feel free to ask any questions or interrupt me at any time. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat box, but otherwise just feel free to jump in at any point. So yeah, I'll start with the what we call the build versus buy spectrum, which is what you see right here, and it essentially covers FactSet solutions and the way they are constructed or can be used by our clients. So on the far left, we have the FactSet standard and exchange data feeds, which are really meant to deliver raw data, which is generally ingested into, let's say, a relational database on a client side to be used into downstream processes. So like I said, it's very much raw data. While on the right-hand side, we have the FactSet Workstation, more of an out-of-the-box solution, which offers very limited tailoring. So it's more straightforward in that sense. And I think the interesting part comes in the middle, right, where we have the APIs. They have the characteristic of delivering raw data while offering still a bit of flexibility and functionality in the way the data is retrieved. So that's functionality around symbology, functionality around maybe start and end date and different settings. So it almost offers the best of both worlds when you want to consume raw data, but still have that sort of flexibility. And FactSet wants to be agnostic, actually, in the way we deliver data to our clients. So as Tarek mentioned, we really want to sit down with the clients and understand what is it that they want and what is the best way for them to consume it. So we make our data available through all the different delivery mechanisms. So whether that is a raw data feed, whether it is an API or cloud-hosted database. Obviously, the trend nowadays is more towards APIs and cloud. However, make no mistake, a lot of our clients still use an FTP process to receive data from FactSet. So that's still very much an active workflow in that sense. Now moving over to the API specifically. FactSet API program is designed to power the entire investment process. Our clients use APIs across to address multiple business workflows, including quantitative research, portfolio and risk analytics, fintech and brokerage portals. And our aim is to support all these workflows in a consistent and scalable manner. We roughly divide the APIs into 4 categories or 4 flavors. On the top, you'll see the content APIs focusing around content. Think of the data sets that Tarek mentioned, estimates, fundamentals, pricing data, ownership data, all of that. We have a single API for each content set. Next, we have the analytics APIs tapping into our analytics engine, however, not requiring the interface of seeing your portfolio. So it's an API that allows you to do portfolio construction, optimization, derive risk analytics, instead of having that interface. So it taps right into the engine. And then finally, we have the functional and utility APIs, which are geared towards more constructing digital portals, building blocks essentially to build a portal and to so think of watch lists, a search API, an API for our catalog actually. So it's really more around the utility and functional side of things. Now zooming in a bit more around what are the design principles of our APIs. They follow the Open API specification, which is pretty much the industry standard when it comes to the design and the way the API is built from the ground up. They also follow a content-oriented design, and what I mean by that is that we have an API for each content set. This allows you to just tap in only to the content that you require, making it more efficient in terms of implementation, but also on the cost side of things, right? You only pay for the content that you require and don't leave some data unused. The output follows a JSON response. So for the ones that are familiar with that, it's very malleable, very easy to work with, and very easy to ingest downstream. And they are really designed to deliver high performance and scalability when it comes to providing data, designed to be able to handle a long list of symbols, for example, to extract thousands and millions of data sets and data points in one go. And then finally, we have the developer portal, and I'll dive into that in a second, which is a portal for documentation and offers a sandbox environment. And it comes with our API suite. There's a lot going on in this slide, but I think what is good to remember is that at our core, at FactSet core, is data integration. And we are the industry leaders in acquiring, integrating, and managing clients' third-party and proprietary data. Tarek mentioned, we have over 5,000 content collectors, 850 third-party contents. We have over 14 global data centers. Yeah, we really provide alternative data, core data, and macro data, and make sure to stitch it all with EDM and symbology. So at the core, and the key here is our hub and spoke model, which you see in the chart. So at the core, we have our FactSet entity and security master, which stitches all these content sets with symbology, making it very easy to implement and to do analysis across these different content sets. So FactSet sources and vets are on-platform vendors and attaches our own symbology, and we attach our own symbology. So it really allows for easy stitching, saving valuable time, yeah, vetting and mapping the data yourself. So it allows for easy implementation and analysis. Now, for each of these content sets, we offer, as I mentioned, a specific endpoint, and we are adding more APIs every day. I think the tally now stands at over 80, and that number is expecting to grow significantly over the coming months. I won't go into this in too much detail, just a quick highlight of some APIs and different characteristics. I'll skip this and I'll go straight to actually an example to show you, how does a typical API request look like. We offer post and get methods, so this might get a little technical for some of you. I hope I won't lose you, but just a quick one. We offer post and get methods to retrieve the data. Protocol is over the internet, so using HTTPS. All our data is hosted on api.factset.com, where in this case, and I'm showing you an example of the prices API, the path is content. So I showed you those 4 pillars: content, analytics, functional utility. In this case, we're looking at content. And the endpoint is the prices database. The query could consist of a single ID, a list of IDs, and maybe some settings around the start and end dates, maybe a currency item that you want to include. This request hits our servers, and as I mentioned, the output follows a JSON format. In this case, we get around 10 data items, open, high, low, close, volume data, which clients, it lands on a client server, and clients are able to ingest it into their downstream models. Yep. So the product is not just an API. As I mentioned, we have the developer portal. So I'll skip to that actually in a second, but it allows for documentation, a sandbox environment, a try it out functionality, and to manage your API keys. We offer Jupyter notebooks to our clients to, again, ease the implementation and help them get going. So there's a lot of stuff around the APIs that we offer to our clients. Now let me just stop sharing, and I'll go to the developer portal actually to show you an example. Give me a second. Right, so what I have in front of me here, and I think Tarek, you can see my screen, right? Okay. What I have in front of me is the FactSet developer portal. It's an online website, simply an open website, which you can all explore. It covers, the business workflows that we support with our API program. Again, whether that's a fintech and brokers portal or quant research. again, this breakdown of the 4 different APIs, and again, the benefits and the fundamentals which our APIs are built on. I want to use an example, and I'll just click on the quant research workflow so I can look up an example for you. Let's take the estimates API. We have this page, this one pager for all our APIs, and it contains all this documentation and information that you require, including that sandbox environment. So for each API, we have a brief description, what it entails, the coverage, the data points, and what's expected in the future to be onboarded. Then we come to the API definition, the different endpoints. Maybe I want to use a ratings endpoint, and this is really again designed for clients to help them construct their codes, look up the documentation, and we have this try it out functionality as well. So I might want to just construct a quick query. Give me a second as it's loading. And again, the output you see down here, a JSON format. It's the demo daemon coming, looking around the corner. Obviously, whenever you do a demo, something crashes. I'll go back to the example. And in this case, this is for ratings, right? So getting that estimates data from our FactSet estimates database, showing you some basics around, how many brokers are favoring this stock, how many are giving a whole recommendation, and maybe some target price. What this page includes as well, and again, this goes for all the APIs we have, a full schema breakdown, and also some code snippets, right? So using one of your favorite query languages, again, just a code snippet to get you going, whether that's R or Python or C#. We provide some examples, to really get you going and use this try it out functionality. So it is more than just an API. We want to help clients with the onboarding. And again, this is an open website, so feel free to browse and have a look yourself at the full catalog to do a bit of ID generation. And I'll go back to the PowerPoint in a second. If there are any questions, let me know. And otherwise, I'll share my screen shortly. Right. So as I mentioned in the beginning, FactSet wants to be agnostic when it comes to delivering the data. This is a quick overview of all our content sets, and I won't go through them one by one. This is just for you as a resource to have. I think in summary, FactSet integrates proprietary content sets and more than 850 third-party providers. We apply the identifier concordance to stitch the data across, and we normalize the data. FactSet solutions can be delivered in many forms, as I showed you, whether that's the workstation, web platform, data feeds, APIs, or customized reports. And FactSet combines this technology, content analytics solutions to service our clients in their daily needs. If you layer on top of that the service that we provide, as Tarek mentioned, we are a true partner for our clients. So we don't deliver just a standard product. we tailor it to your needs and situation. Yeah, that's it for me today. Again, happy to take any questions if there are any. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a great day ahead.
Short and sweet. Thank you again for the attendance. You know, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to maybe feedback even of what you saw. If there are no questions. I think there's one on Q&A. Sure, iFlip Invest. We're more than happy to set up a follow-up meeting for sure. We'll get the details and set up a meeting. Thank you for your interest. Can we get a copy of the presentation? Sure. We're more than happy to send it across, Simon. Any specific topic you'd like a brochure on, maybe, or maybe a chat, you know, a one-to-one chat subsequently afterwards?
All right. Yeah,
Understood.
we'll make sure to share the presentation of today and also the links of the developer portal I showed you. I think that allows you to really have a look into the full catalog of APIs if that is of interest.
Any more questions? Great. I think, thank you again. You know, lovely meeting you all. Oh, sorry. I think we do have another question. 1 second. Q&A. What core skills are required to enter a career in data analysis for FactSet? Wow, that's a bigger question than I can answer. Mark, I don't know if you can handle this one.
It's a fairly, it's not a broad question, but the answer can be very broad. If you look at the different teams you have in FactSet, right, from consulting to analytics to engineering, so there are so many teams. I think for when I started in FactSet, I had a background in finance, but that is not at all a requirement per se. I think a general interest in the financial industry is already sort of more than sufficient to be able to have a career within FactSet. So feel free to reach out to the two of us if you have any further specific questions. But yeah, we have so many teams in FactSet that deal with data, deal with analysis, that I think a general interest gets a long way.
For organizing. Thank you very much.
My
have a lovely
pleasure.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you everyone.
Have a great day.
Thank you.